Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 27 of My Mom Sandy. We are your hosts. I am Josh Fasten, and the woman next to me has an intricate set of notes to guide her life in a little notebook. This is My Mom Sandy.
Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday night, late. Actually, it's Tuesday.
You're on a good one tonight, huh?
Yeah, I'm on a good one. It's just late. I tried to get everything done so we could do this after your hockey practice. So here we are.
Here we are.
What's up?
Nothing.
Nothing with me either. All right. All right. Very good.
All right, good. So let's get into, we'll do a bit of housekeeping and then we'll kind of get into whatever. Or we just, maybe the housekeeping becomes the episode.
That's right. There you go.
One thing I did want to touch on, I was with a client the other day who listens. Over the years, she's become a friend. It's a woman named Bonnie. Bonnie, if you're listening, hello.
Shout out to Bonnie.
And Bonnie wanted to get, I guess there's a book. That is called The Worst Case Scenario Handbook. And
I think we gave that away when we donated books.
Did we have it? I don't know. I
think we used to have one. Why does she want us to have one?
She wants to get one to you.
Yeah.
And then she wants to get another one and have you sign it to her.
Oh, okay.
So then she has a piece.
I'd be happy to sign whatever you need.
It was funny because we were talking and she knows the episodes better than I do. Like I was like, oh, and she was like, well, whatever you do, just don't have your mom smell your fingers again. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. I was like, why was she smelling my fingers? Because you would clean and you would bleach on them.
Oh.
And I was like, wow, Bonnie. I was like, solid.
Yeah, she remembers. I know it's weird because I don't remember. People will say stuff to me and I'll be like, huh? What?
Like who?
Well, like Susan.
Like your fans?
All my fans. Well, Susan said stuff in the past. I mean, not recently. I don't know if she's listening anymore. But if you are, Susan, shout out to you. Anyway, so she said stuff to me before and it was, it was like, what did she say? Oh, something about the value of vinyl records. And it was like the first, it's like she answered the phone and I said hello to her and she said, so the value of vinyl records. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And then she had to tell me she was talking about the podcast. It was like weird. But yeah.
It's like a Twilight Zone moment.
Yeah, and it's weird too because I don't, sometimes I don't know. Like I went away this last week just for an overnighter. And on the way out, I was with what's his name, and we only refer to him as what's his name because we don't want to give away his identity.
Well, there has to be, a little privacy.
A little anonymity. Anonymity.
What's the plural of that?
Anyway, we were talking about stuff in the car and there were just things that we were talking about, like that whole thing about the Peter Pan song being politically correct and the Peter Pan song and that whole thing. And it was weird because I didn't relate to the fact that we had done that on the podcast. It felt like you and I had just had that conversation and that was it, So then on the way home from our trip, we actually listened to the last episode of the podcast and it was right there, like verbatim. It was like weird. Anyway.
People get to listen to our conversations.
I know, but for me, like I said, it just feels like a conversation. So, when I then go and hear it on the podcast, it's like, oh yeah, it was on the podcast. It wasn't just a conversation. It was a conversation that we allowed everybody to hear.
And then your fans recited back to you. That's
right. My fans. Now your fans. Bonnie's your fan.
I wanted to say something. I felt like you should. Do you want to talk about so before you go into the trip and all that, I want to let everyone know that we've come to an agreement that we are going to do the My Mom Sandy live episode Sunday, February 16th.
Okay, now.
Sunday.
Okay, you think that,
February 16th,
do you think people will be out of town and stuff?
It doesn't matter where they are. They just need their phone. 8 p.m.
Oh, I forgot. It's high tech.
Sunday, February 16th, 8 p.m. live episode. I'm not going to give you the whole. I am going to give you the whole breakdown. You got to download an app called Podbean. You have. What are you doing to your face?
I just felt like there was like a
lump,
a swollen area. Yeah.
Great. You need to download an app called Podbean. You need to get on Podbean. I think too. You register. You make an account, and then you can search for us. My Mom Sandy. Give us a follow, and then 8 p.m. Sunday, February 16th, we'll go live. You open up the app. Down below, I think it'll be a little thing that shows you kind of who's live. You can click on our little thing. It'll come up, and then you'll be taken into what I'm assuming is kind of like a little chat room thing, and then you can call in or message us, and then we'll get it.
What do they call? And would they give you a phone number?
No, it's not a phone number. It's like through the app.
Oh.
And then
where does it ring for us? Does it ring?
I have a control center right here, and then it'll show me them.
Wow, this is like really high tech. I hope it works.
We'll see.
What if it doesn't?
Then we can just spend the hour, have a regular episode,
or we could just spend the hour complaining about how it didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's going to be a fun trip.
Oh yeah, it'll be interesting.
And then so for everyone who wants to listen live, you guys can listen to it live that Sunday night, and then that episode will go up on all the podcast services on Tuesday, and then you guys can be a part of it. So that'll be very fun. That could be, let's see, 27, 28, episode 29.
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
I think it's going to be, yeah. So anyway, so we've come to terms with that live episode.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to call in, because we ain't got nothing else to do. Like, actually, 8 o'clock's pretty early for it. You don't have a hockey game that night, do you?
I don't. I already checked my calendar.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, cool.
All right, good.
So, we'd love to hear from you guys. We'd love to talk about any past episodes or questions you guys might have about things in our lives or future episodes. So that'll be that. We still do not know what my cousin Brian does for work.
So we'd like to request him to call in.
If you could call in my cousin Brian and let us know once and for all what in the actual fuck you do for work.
Really?
Because we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We can't figure it out. And not only that, but you told us what you didn't do, but you didn't tell us what you do. Do.
Plural?
Okay, let me ask you, Judai. Let me ask you, where does that come from? Does that come from Friends?
What?
Do?
I don't know.
Well, why do you look at me funny when I say what we do?
Because it's like poop talk.
Well, that's on Friends. That's kind of...
I think there was a Super Bowl commercial talking about, it was
poop talk?
Geared towards the meat industry.
Yes.
So for everyone who's listening, if you guys don't know, I'm sure we've talked about it, but I'm vegan. I think I've been vegan for probably maybe 8 years now, 9 years. And there was this meat commercial. I think it was something geared towards trying to get people off of meat. But there's they've done like testing on like chicken, pig, cow.
Yum.
And there's like poop. There's like poop in all of it.
Well, that's why you have to cook it.
Well, I don't want to eat cow poop.
Well, let me just give you a little bit of information that you'd never knew, and I really hate to tell you this.
Did you used to cook your poop?
No, but they say that spinach is a vegetable that you can wash and wash and wash, but you never can clean it. There's something about the texture or the makeup of the spinach.
That's why I boil mine.
You don't, but you don't boil it, but you do eat it in salads, don't you?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
But I usually boil my spinach before
I wouldn't trust eating spinach anywhere out. I just wouldn't. That and romaine lettuce, forget about it.
Like they're just getting...
Forget about it.
They're getting their batch and like maybe it's contaminated and they're like, oh fuck, we'll just wipe our asses with it just to...
No, they don't even know it's contaminated. It comes from the farm. They don't know it's contaminated until they feed it to us and we get sick. And then it's reported, and then the CDC steps in and, health department and all those people. And then they try to figure out where it actually came from, what farm it came from.
Comes from the
where
poop.
It was grown. Generally speaking, it probably has something to do with the
poop.
Workers pooping in the field.
No.
Yes.
I will... Speaking of pooping in the field, you were watching Naked and Afraid last night.
Yes.
What I've noticed about you is
Let me just say something. Usually Sunday night is 90 Day Fiancé. They did not have 90 Day Fiancé on last night. And Sunday night TV without 90 Day Fiancé really sucks. There's like nothing on. Naked and Afraid was like reruns. I mean, I don't know that there was a new one on last night. So
you definitely have like your cycle of shows that you watch.
Absolutely. Certain nights, certain shows. Absolutely. Certain times of the day, certain shows.
And what I noticed about Naked and Afraid last night that you had on was that, and I don't know, maybe they've always done this, but they're showing buttocks now.
Yes, they've always shown.
They've always showed the buttocks.
They only fuzz out with like I assume
if there's like a piece of poop on the buttocks.
The crack. And if it's
I mean it was full
crack,
full back end.
All right, well then maybe what they do, because sometimes I do see it. Maybe it's when the guy's balls are hanging down between his legs.
And his balls hang low.
Yeah,
that's a song.
Yeah, I think so.
The
shoulders. It was a one-hit wonder shoulder song.
Sure. Just so you know, the shoulders have a lot of hits.
I know, they do. Anyway, they do fuzz out certain men's butt. So I don't know. I don't know what's there that's so disgusting that nobody needs to see it on TV.
The big balls.
Maybe, or maybe it's maybe it's a big dick. I don't know.
That could be it too.
Yeah.
That could hang, because it could be like marble balls, but just a very long.
I don't know.
Like a horse dick.
Did you hear about, what's his name?
Well, I'm not done talking about this.
Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, he had
balls,
he had a mangina.
Yes.
And the girl said that
he had no testicles.
Yeah, his testicles were
missing.
missing.
I just find that funny.
And he had a mangina.
And he had to go inject himself in order to have sex. And I didn't even think about this, but apparently the gal that was testifying against him said that, not to change the subject, but that he injected himself and then he was like bleeding and then he had sex with her. And that's like how you spread HIV or other diseases. Hep C, probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
A whole variety
I just feel like there's something like, I don't know. If you have if you have like a miniature mangina and you're having to like inject it, like I cannot look. First off,
who would want to?
I cannot think of anything worse than putting a needle into my penis to inject some sort of serum, some
gross.
Magical penile serum.
Yeah, that's gonna make you hard.
Don't want to do that.
No,
that does not sound like a fun Saturday night.
No, no, I don't even want to inject like I do these B12 shots because I have this pernicious anemia
which is a B12 deficiency.
Yeah. Hey, the body, you lose this intrinsic value in your stomach that allows you to absorb B12 through your food, and you lose it, and then the only way you can get it is either with B12 shots or sublingual. So anyway, I could actually give myself B12 shots, but I just can't. The thought of putting a needle into my leg or my arm is like, no, I can't do that. I just can't. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, everyone, like, the big thing is, like, everyone gets Botox now, you know?
Okay.
And, like, that's, like, another thing. Like, I wouldn't want a needle injecting me. Well, I mean, plus it's, poisons. But I wouldn't want it, like, injecting into my forehead.
No, I don't.
You don't get Botox?
No. Can't you tell?
So, what I wanted to ask you...
I didn't hear the answer to that, but... Okay, so you were referring to the Naked and Afraid, and... Oh, just all you wanted to say was about their butt cracks?
Well, no, because it was on, and I had asked you a question the other night, and I wanted to get into that. I had asked you if you would ever go on that show. And
I said no.
And then I said...
What a surprise.
Surprise. And then I said, if there was any amount of money to go... Like, you don't have to complete the show. You just have to go on it. You're going to get in a helicopter or a car. They're gonna take you out to your area, drop you off with your little puka shell necklace on that they all wear.
I know, that's weird.
I think it's the microphone.
Oh, you think?
I think so. You think it's just a fashion thing?
I thought it was just kind of like a bonding thing.
Like that shows the wild animals that
you
they're part of the crew?
You could identify your partner by the necklace that
In
they're
case
wearing.
there's
Don't forget the fact that they're naked.
There's headhunters out there.
Yeah, exactly. You could run into strangers.
So you don't have to complete it, but you have to. What are you doing with your neck? This is like a scene out of The Exorcism.
Yes, I'm gonna twist my head all the way around. 1, 2, 3, go.
So, if they were like, hey, you know, like let's say like this podcast took off and they were like, all right, well, we want to have My Mom Sandy come on Naked and Afraid, and we'll pay you guys like $100 million.
No,
100% no.
If I could go with clothes, I would. Clothes and insect repellent.
But that's not the show.
Okay.
You're making your own show.
No, I wouldn't do it. I'm telling you, people actually get physically ill from mosquito bites out there.
I'm not.
And they get those bot flies.
Butt flies?
Butt flies, yeah. Butt flies. The bot fly, apparently, it lays its egg on
in your butt?
No, it lays its egg on. Let me see if I can get this right now. It lays its egg like on the belly of a mosquito. And when the mosquito goes to bite the human, the egg falls off and like implants in the arm. What you actually end up with is like a little bot fly under the skin.
Little arm
a little
butt.
butt fly under the skin. A little larvae. And that it like moves around. It's gross. They're really, yeah, anyway. I've watched
for $100 million.
No.
Not a chance.
No, I would get eaten alive by mosquitoes.
They like that sandy blood.
There was no way. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way.
$1 billion.
No, I mean, I went to Mammoth once. We used to go fishing in the summertime, and excuse me, that didn't do it. That did it. We went one morning. Usually you go early in the morning and it's cold. Actually, we used to go like in September. So it wasn't summer. It was more fallish. So we go out fishing in the morning, and you go out in the morning and you have gloves on and long sleeves and long pants and a sweatshirt, and you know, you're good to go. So then as the day goes on, it gets hotter. So you take off your first layer, your jacket, and you take off your long sleeve shirt, and now you have your short sleeve shirt, and you have your shorts under your long pants. So you take all those heavy clothes off, but you forget to put insect repellent on your skin that's now exposed to the elements. And guess what? Oh my God, I got eaten alive. That was the last time I did that, made that mistake. So no, I would not want to, because I see these people, they just have, I mean, their body is just one big friggin' mosquito bite. Would you do it?
I mean, for $100 million? Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I would like give it a shot. I'm not going to complete it because I'm going to be miserable.
Ay. You
know, but I would like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if I had the, you know, maybe by like the first night, I'm like, hey, I'm done. I'm speaking to my little puka shell necklace, and I'm like, hey, I'm done, guys.
Hey, over.
I'm going to need some help here, everyone.
Roger this.
But yeah, I mean, I know that I'm not, I mean, I know that the sun alone, like I would have like third-degree burns.
It depends on, yeah, just about anywhere you would. But sometimes you end up in like a real rainy place, and that's even worse.
Yeah, I would freeze.
I've seen people that, you know, that are like constantly in water. Their feet are in water. They end up getting like fungus and swollen feet, and it's weird. And lots of different things can get you out there. Yeah, no, it's not my style. I would think of the worst case scenario for sure.
So
if I could go with clothing, and like I said, insect repellent. Well, why do you have to be naked and afraid? I mean, you still got to go out there and try to survive. That's the name
of the show.
I know, but
it's
you've
not
still got to build
clothed with insect repellent and kind of in a good mood.
But you still have to survive 21 days in the wilderness with no food, no water. You got one thing to take with you. You got to make your own fire.
What would you take? Well, insect repellent. That would be your own. That would be the one.
Sometimes I don't know what's wrong with my voice tonight. Sometimes people take like mosquito netting, and that kind of helps a little bit, but I don't think it helps enough.
I would take a tiny house,
but they actually use it.
I would have it like RV'd in.
There you go. That's my one thing. I'll take an RV, please. That's where I'll sleep. You know, they had 2 people that were disqualified because they stole food from the crew mess. You didn't hear about that?
No.
It was a big scandal.
No.
Big naked and afraid scandal. Yeah, they apparently stole food and they got caught.
I mean, like that goes back to, remember when Bear Grylls was on?
Yeah.
I don't know. He might still have a show. I'm not sure. But
he does.
But it was like
Running Wild with Bear Grylls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, you're on it. So you're like a human TV guy over here.
I know. I spent a lot of time in front of the tube.
What comes on after Running Wild?
I don't know. I don't even know what night it's on. I've never watched it. He takes like celebrities out. And they scale mountains and
but like remember he like first
like
started out and he was he was like crawling inside horses, like horses carcass bodies to like stay warm from the elements, and he was like eating grass with shit on it, and everyone was like,
and he was drinking,
but it was like
he was drinking his pee.
Yeah, but there was like always like the best shots.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait, what's the crew doing? And it turned out that like they would like get the shot and they would all like make s'mores and like sit around a campfire and like tell stories.
So Bear
and shit.
was really
like a Bear, you want a 40? They would like just toss out beers and stuff.
So that's for real? That really happened?
Yeah, because and then what ended up happening was they had to make a like a little disclaimer at the beginning of the show that said, oh, Bear Grylls is
it's not as tough as it looks.
Yeah, like, from time to time he'll have help from the crew, and and you're like, well, wait a minute,
Well,
like,
that's not,
Man versus Wild.
Yeah,
man
that's what it was. Man, crew, and luxuries of life like versus wild.
He would like crawl into an animal carcass, like stay warm.
They'd take the photo,
get the shot, and then
he'd
like,
come out.
All right, so is there a Marriott down the street?
No, we have the RV. We're kind of in the wilderness. But it's a nicely stocked RV.
They pull up in like these Jeeps and just like take them out to like the fucking Hilton that's like down the Hilton Garden Inn.
There you go. Well, there's another, that's reality TV.
Yeah.
Apparently none of them are really real. It's kind of like fake news. It's like fake TV.
You should find some juice on Naked and Afraid.
Well, I just did. I just told you.
No,
so.
but like maybe they're not that afraid.
Maybe they're not that naked. Maybe they just wear skin-colored suits with tattoos and shit on them, and then
they're naked.
You think they're naked?
Which is like even more weird because then you have like a married, like a dad who's like married and he's going on there and like with some like random chick and they're just both butt naked, like sleeping and like having to like stay warm. Would you cuddle me naked?
Oh, come on. I don't want to think about that.
Like if we were on that show.
Let me ask you that question. Would you cuddle me naked?
Definitely not.
Okay.
I would have a barrier of leaves.
I know. It really is weird because like when they're cold, they're cold. I mean, it's amazing what clothing does for us. Yeah. For sure.
And the heater. It's cold, by the way.
I know. It is cold.
Very windy.
Well, it's not windy right now, but it was earlier.
It was windy earlier. Yeah. A lot of stuff.
Last night, yeah.
Did you want to touch on any more about Harvey Weinstein? About his mangina?
No, I just thought that was interesting.
Okay.
I do listen to this show on Sunday afternoons. By the way, I watched a little bit of the Super Bowl yesterday. And, yeah, see, I predicted it. I told you Kansas City was going to win. Well, I said I wanted them to win, but they did. So anyway, during halftime, I left and went to buy cat food, and then I stopped at the grocery store and did shopping for my mother and for myself. And on Sunday afternoons, there's this guy named Joe Escalante. Do you know who he is?
Mm-hmm.
He's was he a drummer in a band?
I don't think he'd know.
The Vandals?
He was a guitar player, maybe, or bass player.
The Vandals? Was that who it is?
Yeah.
He's also an attorney.
Yeah.
And he does this show on AM talk radio on Sundays, like for 2 hours, and he kind of goes through the legal crap that's going on, like especially in Hollywood. And he touched on the Harvey Weinstein thing, and the gal and her testimony, which is all very weird. But he said his prediction was that she was going to get slaughtered when the defense cross-examines her, because apparently there's all sorts of emails that,
Well, so that's all. Like, I'd read something had come out. I think like TMZ had broke a story again. Surprise. And it was something. It was her statement about him not, about having no testicles and a vagina, which is weird. And that
we call it a mangina.
His mangina, and then that.
I don't even know what that would look like, to be honest, but that's weird.
The penis is two separate flaps of skin. The penis is just cut in half.
Oh God.
So, but then they come back and saying that there was like all these emails and shit over months.
Yeah, and they kind of had
they had like a relationship.
Yeah,
which is just like
gross.
I don't know. That's like.
But how can you? Well, but okay. But in all fairness, there are. I don't know if she's claiming rape. I don't know if that's really what her claim is. I'm not sure. But there are women that get raped by their boyfriends and or their husbands and or strangers. So, just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you are always giving consensual.
Totally. I don't quite know
sex.
Exactly what her stance on it was. I
don't know either.
Yeah,
but
I don't know
I'm just telling you what I heard yesterday. And Joe Escalante thinks that that she's going to get crucified. That she's
it's possible. I mean, but because it does seem strange to come out and make all these statements and say, well, this is this horrible man and he's done these horrible things, and then you go back and
I was in a relationship with him.
You go back and you look at these emails and she's like, honey, I've got sandwiches for tonight. Email me back. And he's like, hold on, I'm just injecting my mangina with some magic
some hard juice,
some penile serum.
Really?
Hard juice. Hard juice.
Hard juice.
So I
don't know.
So like
makes it hard. It's juice.
Bodybuilders take that at the gym.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey Tim, you got any hard juice? Yeah, I don't know if that's what it's called.
I don't know either.
Could you imagine if that's what it was? Like you had to go to the pharmacy and they're like, 20 milligrams of hard juice.
Seriously, I think that if you have to inject your penis to get a hard on, then I think maybe your days of having sex are kind of over. I mean, that's it, And unfortunately, I think that men do lose it as they get older, but I don't think he's that old.
I don't know.
Sounds to me that if he had a mangina, he probably has always had a mangina. There could be some, I think psychological. Because she said he had like massive scarring on his body. Like she thought he had been a burn victim.
See, I had heard something about, like I thought the thing about her was that she was saying that he was born, like potentially with like no genitalia or like both genitalia.
Hermaphrodite. Is that what they call him.
And then it was like, I don't know, something got like botched. I don't know. There was a photo of him though. He doesn't look very good. Like I think he had like a walker. I mean, I think he's old. Well, with the power of Google, I can actually tell you how old he is. You can actually
tell. I think he's aged a lot since he was put in jail. That's how he gets preferential treatment. He just pretends he's old.
Do you have any guesses? Do you want to guess how old he is?
I'm thinking like mid-60s.
67.
No, there you go.
And then the first thing that comes up is that his accuser, Jessica Mann, describes the golden shower incident.
Oh, that's gross. Why would you want to pee on somebody? That's so degrading.
I don't.
Please tell me you don't know why somebody would want to pee on somebody.
The whole thing is, yeah. The whole thing's fucking weird. And like I said, I don't know enough about it, but I think that there's never an okay time to rape someone. That's just not an okay thing to do.
Well, I don't know if that's her claim. It could just be that she, I mean, I know, his game was kind of like, what's his name? What's the guy's name?
Nancy Neighbor.
No. I know, I'm jerking my head towards Nancy Neighbor's house, but no.
The guy who moved into Nancy's.
Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby.
Yeah, it was the same thing where they both would take women, attractive women, and, talk about what they could do for their careers. And then the problem is there was a payoff, and the payoff was, sexual. And, Bill Cosby was drugging his gal, so Bill Cosby. Did I call him Crosby? No, Cosby.
No, I think yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's just so wrong. Like, it's just fucking just weird. And the whole thing, like, I mean, I don't want to be peed on or pee on anyone, but if both people in a relationship are like, oh yeah, we're really into like pee, okay, fine, whatever. It gets weird.
Keep it behind closed doors.
Right.
I don't want to hear about it.
But it gets
please.
weird when there's like one person, like I don't know what this story is, but when one person's like, I do not want to get peed on, and then the other person's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm peeing on you.
Have you ever watched Sex and the City, the series?
No, I mean, not really, no.
There's a funny incident about peeing.
Pee episode.
Well, she dates this guy who's running for a political office in New York, and apparently that's his thing. He likes to pee on women, and she's not into it at all.
Which, and again, like that's, so, I mean, like in real life, right? Like that's a totally normal conversation. Well, I mean, it's weird, but it's like a totally normal conversation to be like, hey, so I'm into this, and the other person being like, I'm not into this. And then you're like, okay. And then
Can you live without it?
Yeah,
can you adjust to like it?
Yeah,
no,
you compromise, and it's just like, that's what a relationship's all about.
Or you break up.
Yeah. But I think like when you're holding someone captive and peeing on them with your mangina that's injected with hard juice, that's weird. That's a strange thing to do.
Here's the funny part
and it's not right.
Here's the funny part about the Sex and the City episode. His people that were running his campaign decided that he shouldn't be dating Carrie Bradshaw because Carrie Bradshaw wrote an article in the paper called Sex and the City. And it was, a bit too promiscuous. It wasn't a good look for him. So he broke up with her. On top of that, she never let him pee on her. So after they broke up, in her column, she wrote about the politician that she was dating who had a peeing fetish. And everybody read it. And the guy kind of got screwed. So anyway.
And the moral of the story is,
don't mess with Carrie Bradshaw. I don't know.
I'd like to ask you about and I mentioned it in the very beginning of the show, you have a very intricate set of notes that you keep.
Yes, I do. And you add to them periodically.
On a day-to-day basis.
Yes.
I have to wonder where we are with technology, why you wouldn't put the notes. So for everyone that doesn't...
Because I'm old-fashioned, and I'm used to doing this. And I'll tell you, my billing system is the same. I don't want to go paperless on my billing.
Okay, so for everyone that doesn't know, she has... What size is that, by the way?
I don't know.
Was it like 8 by 5?
Oh, well, let me see what the cover says. Normally, I don't have it side. I have the flipping on the top.
The flippy on the top?
Yeah, it opens on the top.
So this is a spiral notebook.
This is 9.5 by 6 inches.
Okay, that was close. So this is 9.5 by 6 inch spiral notebook, and
they call it a wire-bound notebook.
Wire-bound notebook, and what you do you do it like kind of throughout the day, or at the end of the day, you make notes. It's essentially like an ongoing to do.
Yes,
it's an ongoing to do list.
Did you hear that, everybody? I'm flipping the pages. There's Monday. There's Tuesday. There's Wednesday.
And you have multiple of these kind of pads of paper that contain your to-do lists and
oh, look, I can cross something off. Oh, well, actually, no, I do. Well, yeah, I can.
What was that?
Launder sheets. I didn't actually launder them, but I did change them. That's the big thing.
Oh, you washed your sheets.
Yes.
Launder sheets.
Mm-hmm.
You are a little old school, huh?
Just a bit.
So why not switch over to your phone and keep everything in your phone? Like your ongoing to-do list in your phone, or like reminders, because all that stuff.
Because I'm not used to that. You grew up with that. I didn't.
I didn't grow up with that. iPhones have only been around for fucking 10, 11 years.
I know, but you used the computer before I did and stuff. I mean, I didn't even have an email address until
yesterday.
Till I got separated from my husband.
That's because he didn't allow you to have one.
That's right. He was a big ogre. No, I didn't. I had never used the ATM machine before that. He just did it all for me.
What was it like walking up to the ATM machine?
It was very frightening. It was scary. It's like, what do? I don't know. Yeah, no. I don't know. I mean, it just works for me, and I can add to it and cross it off. I mean, I guess I could use my phone, but I don't really want to be as dependent on my phone as I think some of you younger kids are.
I guess I'd
rather just have it on a piece of paper. I can touch it. I can feel it. I can write on it.
I don't know. I mean, there's just like a really, you type something in, and then next to it is like a little circle, and then you touch the circle, and then it gives it a little check mark, like boom, that's done. And you could organize.
I know, but I do have some notes in my phone, but I don't. Is that what you're talking about? Doing notes?
Yeah, notes. There's also like a reminder section. So if you know that you have to do something, you can hit the reminders. You can type something in, and then that'll come up.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's maybe that's my next big step in life.
I thought you were going to open your notes right now. What did you just, you grabbed your phone to open up? What app did you just open?
I'm claiming my points for my, my slot machine game. I'm hoping that they'll at some point I'll win the jackpot. Oh, nope. Didn't do it today. Oh, well, what the heck? Yeah, so no, I mean, I might do that. I might start doing that. We'll see. It's just easier to do it this way. It's kind of like my billing system. Like, I don't want to go paperless on my bills, because when the bills come in, I open them, and on the envelope I write, where is notes? No. Sure.
Let's keep talking, huh? We're doing a podcast, right?
I thought you'd take over for me.
Yeah, you were in the middle of a thought, literally.
Oh, there it is. Notes. What was I saying? See, look, that's my Rite Aid list from the last time I went.
That's great. See, and then look, let me stop touching stuff. If you hit that, and
I don't even know what you hit.
So you just put the cursor right there.
Yeah.
And then you hit this little thing, it gives you a little circle.
Yeah.
So once you get your neti pot, you hit
enable automatic sorting.
I
don't want to do that.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
So, and then you can.
So how do you just get rid of that altogether? Is there a cancel or erase?
Yeah, you just delete it. You just delete it like you would delete anything else.
Yeah. And
then you can make a new note, or so.
Yeah.
But then you have it with you all the time,
Yeah, I don't know. To me, that's harder to do than to write it on a piece of paper and carry it with me wherever I go.
All right. Well, whatever.
It doesn't fit in my purse as well as the phone, but whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, but it works. I mean, I cross things off. If I'm in the middle of the night, I might wake up and go, oh my God, I forgot to write that I need to do this, or that I need that. I mean, I do my shopping list on paper as well.
I know you do.
I mean, maybe it's just that's my age. That's kind of what.
49.
Yeah, I kind of grew up doing that. How do I get out of here now? Just done?
Yeah.
I'd like to get rid of it, though, to be honest.
So just delete it then.
Trash?
Sure. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Oh, what is that? Shopping list. Oh, look, you have a whole shopping list category right there.
That's full. I do. And that's it. It's empty.
Wow. There was something else I was just going to ask you.
Look, money owed to Josh.
Wow. $1 million, huh?
That's on my phone.
Wow, that should be. But it's also on a pad.
I know, but if the pad got lost.
And I can't wait for that. That's going to be a vacation. All right.
Let me trash that. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, it works for me. It's adequate. I don't know. I'd be interested to know. I guess people your age probably just use their phones for all that stuff. I just don't like being tied to my phone like that.
Yeah, but instead you're tied to like numerous different. I mean, look, there's a pad right there. There's probably one over on the desk.
That pad is to keep track of the monies that we pay the healthcare workers.
But that's what I'm saying. Is you running?
I don't want to put that on my phone.
Okay.
I mean, it's much easier for me to figure out to do a 1099 for her at the end of the year when I have it all written down there than it would be to go through my phone and look at all that stuff.
That's fine. Oh, I was going to ask you really quickly because you had mentioned it. Did you have fun? You said you went away for a night. Did you have fun?
Yes, except you'll be interested to know. I didn't tell you, but yeah, they were doing construction at the hotel. They're doing renovation in the casino tower. I went to Pechanga. I like going there. It's an hour and a half away, so the drive's not terrible. And I have comp dollars, so we eat free. So anyway, but they were doing construction in the casino tower. Let's see. I'm trying to think. We were on the 7th floor. They were doing construction on maybe the 10th, 11th, and 12th floor. So when we got there, it was clang, clang.
No. No.
And here's the thing is when we checked in, the gal says to me, she goes, I guess you know that we're doing renovation in the casino tower. And I said, well, actually, I said, no, I didn't know. She goes, I guess they told you when you booked the room. And I said, no, actually, they didn't tell me. I said, but I did get an email a couple days ago that, they always send you an email before you come that says, yeah, it's like, what you can do with your upcoming visit. And then they've got their spa and all the various things that you can book before you go. So anyway, so that email said something about staying with them during the renovation of the casino tower. And I thought, well, that's weird. Why, but I figured that was like 2 days before we went. And I figured, well, we're going to cancel. But, when you go there, you don't spend a lot of time in your room. So at night, it was quiet. In the morning, about 9 o'clock, it started again.
No.
I know. You tell your story. You went to Palm Springs and you had the same type of situation.
Yeah, I mean, I went to Palm Springs last year, and I stayed at a new hotel. The difference was that the hotel was not the ones doing the construction. It was like a courtyard out, like in front of the hotel. So the hotel didn't have any effect. Like they couldn't just like shut it down. The problem was that I booked online. They didn't say anything online. I then checked, got my confirmation email. Nothing in the email. Checked into the hotel. Very nice front desk woman, but she didn't say anything. It wasn't until I got up to my room that there was a fucking letter with a pair of orange squishy earplugs next to the bed, and it said, "Oh, we're so sorry. We're so sorry that we hope that the construction outside doesn't bother you on your stay." And I'm just like, what kind of dog shit is this? That, like, if that kind of thing's happening, tell me when I book the fucking room.
At least when you check in.
Well, yeah, or give me.
But at that point,
the decision.
But at that point, it's too late.
Right. Once I check in, it's too fucking late. I'm there. I'm trapped.
Yeah. Once you're there, it's
so send me a private email. Like you don't have to broadcast. Look, you don't want to broadcast that shit on your fucking website. Fine. But send me a private email that just says, hey, we just want to let you know about your upcoming stay. Here's what's going on. Let me make the decision on whether or not I want to come.
Yeah.
So I got there, and I've stayed at like a lot of shitty noisy, shitty hotels throughout the years because of when I was playing music and touring. And
Ooh, you're so cool.
no, that's what we know. We made no money and we stayed in shitty hotels. It wasn't cool at all. But I'm just saying, I'm letting you know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like some like, you know, I like looked at it and I was like, oh, that's fine, whatever, you know. And then the next morning, you know, at fucking, I don't know, 7:30, it sounded like there was a fucking jackhammer coming through my ceiling. And I was like, no.
Yeah, this was pretty, you know, it's like I said to what's his name, I said, what kind of tool are they using? It's a continuous noise. It's not, you know.
It doesn't stop.
I know, but it doesn't even sound like they're, you know, like they're, and then moving and then, you know, drilling again. It just sounds like it's the same thing, you know, the whole time. I don't know. It's just weird. I have no idea.
Well, then I called down to the front desk and they were like, oh yeah, we don't know what that is. And I was just like, well, it sounds like it's right above my room. They're like, oh, we'll send someone to check it out. And there was this thing with this hotel where you can actually text the front desk, which is like kind of nice.
Yeah.
So then there's this like constant thing going. It was like, well, you know, I think they were like, well, we can give you like $50, like a $50 credit. And I'm like, what is that? That's not putting me back to sleep right now.
Yeah.
You know? But I came home and I was like, you know, and look, stuff like that just rubs me the wrong way. I just feel like it's so easy to.
Well, you paid a lot for that room as well.
I know, but I could have paid $100 for the room. It's not right. Yeah. You know, that's what I'm saying. Is that, you know, the fucking room could have been a Motel 6, and I still would have been like, look, you have to let your guests know about this. It's not okay to just, you know, like, oh, whatever.
I totally agree with you.
Did you write a letter?
No.
Oh, I will.
You'll write a letter for me?
Like,
They won't care. They don't give a shit.
Oh, they'll fucking 100%. Because then I ended up getting in touch.
They don't care, Josh. They have enough people that come and stay there that they could give a shit about me.
Well, when they look up those comp dollars, they're gonna realize you're a. When they hear it, when we put them on blast,
big time gambler.
We put them on the My Mom Sandy podcast list of places not to go back to.
Well, you know they had a murder there.
Oh, that's good.
You know that guy, Kawhi, he's a basketball player.
Okay.
I think he plays for the Clippers. I don't know. I'm not into basketball, but his sister and a friend of his sister murdered an elderly woman in one of the bathrooms at Pechanga.
For the free rice cooker, huh?
No,
they got their late. They didn't get their rice cooker.
They didn't get their rice cooker, so
they were pissed.
Yeah, no, they stole her money. I mean, I don't even think she had that much, but like they followed her in and they like killed her.
Because I don't think people that have like I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but people who have like a shit ton of money are going to gamble at like Pechanga, you know?
You know what? It surprises me the number. I mean, people play those table games all the time, and those games are expensive. I mean, they don't have any, you know, $5 blackjack.
I just don't know if they're like getting ready to like host the World Series of Poker at fucking Pechanga next year, you know?
I don't know. They might. They do have a poker room there. They have a poker room. They have all the table games. And I'm going to tell you, there's people there that look like they're spending a lot of money. So I don't know. I don't think they're doing too badly because, you know, they've put up a whole pool complex and a whole nother.
I'm sure that the hotel I'm sure they're making money, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But I just don't know if that particular hotel is the one that people are going to like. You know, they're dropping, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand, you know, on a weekend or more so walking around with that money taped to their fucking ankles. You know?
Oh, no, I don't. I kind of doubt that. But I guess if you were going to spend that kind of money, you'd make it all the way over to Vegas, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You'd fly there.
There's far more casinos that, you know.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I know.
There you go. I got to tell you, I don't know. What did you do for Super Bowl Sunday?
I had some tortilla chips, and I had some
Oh,
guacamole.
that's right. I had some of your guacamole as well.
And then I watched a little bit of it.
You threatened to throw it away.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been like a big football fan. They took the LA football team away from us a long time ago, so I just never really had a reason to like
Rams,
the Raiders,
Rams.
So I just never, for me it was just never the thing of being like, oh, I can't wait to watch football. Super Bowl is, it's a huge, great social event, but I don't know. I had
a hockey game to play.
Yeah, yeah. So I had a hockey game on Sunday night as well. But yeah, it wasn't, it just wasn't this thing of like.
You wanted San Fran to win.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
No, I said I thought.
You thought they'd win.
No, didn't say that either. I thought Kansas City had like a better story. I didn't think that it was necessarily like a super.
Is it Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri?
Kansas City, Missouri.
St. Louis, Missouri. They won the Stanley Cup and the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's not good. And don't they have a baseball team, too?
The Kansas City Sandies.
No, doesn't St. Louis have a baseball team? St. Louis.
Cardinals?
I don't know. Google it.
I don't think they're very
You don't
good.
want to?
Yeah, it was not like a super exciting Super Bowl. Super exciting Super Bowl.
Oh, I thought people said it was. That it was a good game.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
It wasn't like a big blowout.
It was fine. And I think, the last probably 6 minutes were exciting. But I don't know. It just didn't, I was watching it and I was like, yeah, it's two good teams.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything, I wasn't like, wow, this is, halftime show was interesting, I guess. But, it's just.
A bunch of women dancing provocatively.
Lip syncing.
On
and
stripper poles.
Grinding, I think it's
grinding their pelvises.
I think it's always a spectacle, and I think it always looks great. The production value, but I don't know. Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. I mean, look,
Shakira.
Is that her song?
It is one.
I think you have to. That's really her song.
There is one song like that.
Yeah, I think you have to give them credit for getting up there and I mean, Jennifer Lopez. Looks great and can, I think she's like 50, killing it. But I don't know. I wasn't, there was nothing about the game or the halftime show that I was like wowed, But I'm not a football fan. I'm not the audience,
There you go. Well, in my quest to find something else to watch on TV last night, besides Super Bowl stuff, I ran across this ID show called People Magazine Investigates. And I thought it was very interesting because it was about this little boy named Kevin Collins. Have you ever heard of him? He was kidnapped from the San Francisco area. And this boy, they never found him, and they never solved the crime. They think that they know who did it. There's a couple things that were really interesting about it. First of all, when this 10-year-old boy didn't come home from basketball,
we're not going to bed tonight, huh?
No, I'll make this really quick. This 10-year-old boy didn't come home from basketball that day. The parents called the police, and the police at the time in San Francisco. This is in 1984. The police waited 3 days when a child was missing before they even looked or did anything about it. Can you imagine? I mean, now we have these Amber Alerts. A child goes missing and there's an Amber Alert that's put out there like right away. I mean, how can you wait 3 days?
I feel like you should save this for our Sandy Fasten private investigator.
But I want to say this one thing about it. This boy is the reason that they put missing children's pictures on milk cartons. This is the first one that was ever put on a milk carton.
Do they still do that, though?
I don't know if they do that anymore.
I have not seen a missing...
But in 1984, when this little boy was kidnapped, there was a dairy farmer in the area, and he thought, what a good way to get the word out. And so he put this little boy's picture on the first milk carton from his dairy, and it went, nationwide.
Went viral before
it did.
That was a thing.
It did. I mean, and they used to, I don't see them on there anymore, but yeah, they used to have them on there all the time.
I would imagine that with where we are with technology, you don't have to, right? Like it's going to be on every computer and every device and, right? So why would you still put photos of
nostalgia?
Oh, God.
I don't know. Why would you do anything? I know. Well, I guess you have, you get an Amber Alert. It comes to your phone.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So sometimes I don't. How come sometimes it like sounds an alarm and other times it doesn't? Or does it?
Or
does it? By the way, I while I've been cleaning out my mother's house, I was listening to podcasts last week, and I was listening to the Dateline ones, and I saw your episode.
The thing about Pam. Yeah, you should listen to it.
I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I could listen to it. I already know what happens.
It's really good.
Is it?
Keith Morrison.
Yeah.
Keith Morrison.
Yeah.
Morrison? Yeah, Keith Morrison.
Yeah. He's got the voice.
He does.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I don't really have anything else. This was just a lot about nothing.
A lot about nothing. Just kind of like this Seinfeld show.
Or the play that we're producing.
The play that we're producing.
My Mom Sandy, a lot about nothing.
A lot about nothing. Everything to do about nothing.
All right, nothing.
All right, nothing. All right, nothing.
All right, so let's close it. Let's close up the shop.
All right, so let's remind everybody, Podbean,
the app, you have to download it to listen and join us for the live episode at 8 p.m. on Sunday, February 16th.
And hopefully I won't get a job. Excuse me.
Oh, I'm tired.
I was kind of yawning.
Oh, well, why don't you keep talking about all the different TV shows you watch? Oh, we're going to call this episode Sandy's TV shows.
Is that what we're going to call it?
Sandy's.
Well, what else did I talk about?
I think it was just TV.
Oh, 90 Day Fiancé. They're going to have a new Before the 90 Days coming up in a couple of weeks.
Do you want to?
It looks really good.
Do you want to start your own podcast?
There's this little short guy who goes and dates this Filipino gal, and he goes, I kind of lied to her about my size, about my height. It's like, how could you pull that off, Anyway.
What do you think his mangina looks like?
I don't know. I would think everything on him is small.
What's the plural of mangina?
Mangini.
Mangini.
Mangini. That's good, but not as good as mangini.
Okay, if you guys need to get a hold of us, you can check us out on Instagram at My Mom Sandy Podcast. You guys can email us, mymomsandypodcast@gmail.com. We will put up a new episode every Tuesday, no matter how tired we are on Monday night.
That's right.
And again, our live episode is Sunday, February 16th at 8 p.m. And you guys make sure to download the Podbean app on your device, and then you guys can listen and join us by either calling in and being on air with us or by just writing, and we will read your questions and stuff on the air. I've got nothing else.
Yeah.
Please tell your friends about the podcast and make sure you leave us good reviews.
Well, the other thing is you're speaking in slow motion.
I'm letting it's a secret.
The other thing is, it'd be nice if people let us know that they are going to join us for the live.
I say no. Let's have it be a surprise.
What was that? Do you have a window open in your...
Sure don't. Both closed and locked, baby.
That was weird.
All right, well, let's just close this up so we can either go get murdered.
Yeah, we might have somebody who just broke into the house. We're not sure, but if we're not on next week, you'll know why.
Come find our dead bodies.
So, all right, very good.